Hello YouTube, and this is my UNI-T UT210E. It's a current clamp meter, so you've got your current clamp section here, and you've got inputs for a DVM at the bottom, and you can do normal AC, DC, resistance readings, and you can do ohms, continuity, normal stuff like that. It's a very good meter, but this one, as you've seen in previous videos, the switch is a bit dicky, and often I'll be taking a measurement and it will suddenly change from resistance to ohms, or resistance to ohms, that makes no sense, resistance to voltage, or change from voltage, like if I put on DC it will suddenly switch to AC. But being on video, it's working fine, but in the past it has been playing up, and I think it's this control here. So I think the contacts in this switch are a bit funky. Let's see if I make it do it. Can I make it do it? Is it going to do it for me? Probably not, because it's on video. It's going to be fine, isn't it? Stupid thing. Anyway, we'll take it apart, have a look inside, and we'll just have a look at the contacts, see if they look okay. So it's screw out to get the batteries out, and one screw there, one screw there. Here them screws loose, and the battery's out. That comes off, and on the bottom here, little contacts for the batteries, which touch down onto here to make contact. And that's the main board. So that's the current clamp device input there. And that all looks fairly lovely, doesn't it? Got some MOVs and stuff in there, protection, because this is just going to be for voltage. There's no current sensing in, so that's why you're not seeing a current shunt and things like that. There's an awful lot of capacitors there, isn't there? But I'm sure some multimeter expert can say how rubbish that is. Well, that looks quite nice to me. Ooh. Terminals are screwed on. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to get out. Also worthy of note is this case is recessed here, and it goes into a recess up there. And I suppose that gives you a bit of protection if you something inside here blows up when you put too much voltage across the input. So that's quite a nice attention to detail. So the flexi just pulls out of its socket, which is here. And then all the screws are loose, and then these contacts at the back come with the board because they're secured on, and it comes off. And now you've got to be careful, there is a wire at the front here which goes to that clamp meter, and then we can turn it over. And that's the switch contacts down there, and there are your switch contacts on the board. Oh, they do look quite dirty, don't they? As in, there's markings on there. That's rather interesting. Using a bit of super zoom, you can see where these contacts along here have been rubbing, and you can see it's taken away part of the solder resist on the tracks, so the tracks are now exposed. So that's not fantastic, is it? And there you see there is this black residue along them, a black residue along here as well, and a little bit of crud in the center there. So I don't know if that'd be a problem or not. It might not be, because well, clearly it's ripening over them, but whether or not they actually short out anything. I mean, it seems to be working most of the time, because the issue I have is when the switch is in a position, it then loses contact. So I'm assuming that's all this crud on here, like you see on this pad here, you got this black residue. So it may just be a case of cleaning them up. And this is what the spring contacts look like. I mean, they look okay. They're not the best springy contacts in the world, but they're in there. They don't look deformed. There's a bit of that crud again on that wiper. I don't know if that's oil or grease, but it's got on the board. Oh yeah, there's a bit of that grease stuff down here. So there is a bit of grease in there. Yeah, the contacts are probably fine. Maybe just the board needs cleaning. I'll give the board a bit of a clean, some alcohol. And this is what it looks like after a little bit of a clean. There's still some residue on there, but I've got as much off as I can be bothered to get off right now. That's how long you want to be here cleaning it for. I mean, it's just a little bit of, if you get the light right, I don't know if that's coating or if that is just grease that won't come off. But that black stuff's gone anyway. You can see the damage in the pads there, in the tracks. So yeah, we'll stick it back together again now. See if it's better. It's weird. The way that board's cut looks like the board's bowed, but it's not. It's just the way it's cut. So yeah, we'll stick it back together again and see if it survives. Hopefully. It's now back together. And it works. Way! So, put it back on DC. Does it... Oop, that's me turn off. Does it have any... Ooh, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It seems to still be okay. I mean, it would have failed all the time, but for some reason today it's not. Maybe cleaning it's helped. I don't know. I'm just going to have to live with it for a bit and see if it's better. Seems to be better. Yeah, seems to be working, which is good. So, yeah, that's well, at least you get to see inside it. And there was a bit of crud in there, so I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why Multimeters have these sort of switch arrangements. I don't know if they could do it digitally or with relays or something, but mechanical switches like this do seem a bit antiquated, don't they? But, well, you got to see inside it. So that's the UNI-T UT210E. I quite like UNI-T stuff. I know some people don't like them, but they are cheap and they're good for the price that you pay. But it seems to work. Wouldn't whack it across the power station, but it does its job. And I'm happy with it, especially for the price. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed that video. Stop wobbling. And see you next time. Bye for now.